is a story about a genius scientist who made horrible viruses.
Ebola, MERS, Zika.
Predicted in Dystopia years before the first case in the real world.
Yeah, you're one of those, huh?
It all has to mean something.
What have you done today to earn your place in this crowded world?
That's great. It starts with an earthquake.
You want to stay alive? Come with me. They just killed every single person who's seen Utopia.
Snakes and airplanes.
Everything in Utopia is real. Viruses, biowarfare, man-made disease.
Minnie Bruce is not afraid.
I'm the foremost expert on this virus.
Jesus.
It's a pretty serious situation.
I bet your ass it's a serious situation.
Stern's flu has now been declared a national pandemic.
This is our undoing.
But we can fight it. We'd just be going into the belly of the beast, practically begging to be slaughtered.
Yes.
Yeah, what?
That's extreme.
How much evil do you have to do good?
None. None evil.
This guy right here is he's one of my favorite serious killers I've ever seen in a show.
I was trying to find another picture of him because yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But okay, so first let's overall thoughts of the show as a whole.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I was about to say, very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, very interesting.
Yeah. And intense at moments.
Mm-hmm.
Very intense. Yeah.
Extremely. It's like
Okay.
it's extremely nerve-wracking at moments.
Yeah.
Out of 5, what would you give it, Lamar?
I'll give it a solid 4.
Oh, Josh?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 too.
4.
I mean, 4 as well. I meant to say.
Give it a 4 too.
Give it a 4 2 out of 5, you know.
4 out of 5. Okay,
Yeah.
I would give it a 3.
Damn.
3, yeah. Like I said, we'll talk about it more, but I think they're gonna have a second season. It makes sense because of how it ended, but
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
it was just a limited series, just a one-off season. So I thought it was going to conclude at the end. So when it ended, I was like, boo.
Oh.
I even wrote on my notes, boo.
See how it ended?
Is it
when it ended, I said boo.
Yeah, and I see why. So it's kind of like a fuck this shit. So do we know if they renewed it or not? Because if they didn't renew it, then fuck this show.
Yeah, I think I saw something about there being a season 2, but I'll have to confirm. But I did see that it's a remake of a British show. So
yeah.
the
I
British
saw that too.
made this
How many times do
first.
they do that?
Huh?
So they always do that.
They did it with
remake.
Shameless. They did it with The Office.
Office, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They do it a lot.
I think the British show got canceled. So I don't know.
Well,
if
it came out in 2013, and I think it had 2 seasons. So okay, so what I did was, Lamar, I took your suggestion, your idea about finding the synopsis.
Yeah.
What I ended up doing myself was, as I watched it, I took notes, and then I went back and actually wrote out like what happened throughout the episode.
So you did your own synopsis. Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. So it was like my homework.
That's a lot of dedication. That's a long fucking.
Yeah. I almost went back to watch the beginning of the first episode, and then like I got to go to work, so I wasn't able to rewatch some things. But yeah, I think I kind of got the gist of it, of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't really lost. As I was able to keep up with what was going on for the most part.
Yeah, and I kept like trying to make predictions, like, oh, this is the person they're talking about in the comics.
Yeah.
Like I kept trying to think, oh, this person's Mr. Rabbit or this person's whatever. So as it was happening, and I was doing that. But
that's
the
okay.
show was fucked up.
Yeah, I was able to keep up, like go along with it, but I couldn't predict shit. Like I didn't even have the I don't want to say the want, but I didn't have the urge to predict it, which is surprising.
You were just watching
I'm always
it.
trying to predict shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always want to be that guy to be like, oh yeah, he's him. I'm always that guy, but in this show, I didn't. I was
no. This show was
I did it once. I will talk about it, but I did try to predict it once, and it didn't work out.
Yeah. Okay. This show was trying to play some Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah.
To where like certain characters, I was like, oh shit, you wrote them off pretty early. And just like that.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So like I said, I have a whole write up, but I'm not gonna just like read it. I'm just gonna like say points from like what happens. Mm-hmm. So the first episode, there's a woman and a man. They go to a house and they're like cleaning up, and the guy finds pages to a comic book. It was the girl's grandpa. Yeah, her grandpa left her the house. He left her the house, and then she was there with her fiance. They were cleaning up. They found the pages. He found out that it was popular, and so they take it to a comic book convention. Right. So then we see, so it's Sam, Ian, Wilson, Becky, and Grant. Yeah. Okay. So wait. Before you continue on. When they went to that convention, I didn't know it was a comic book convention until you said that. I thought everybody just came there to see the comic book. No, it was called Fringe Con. Okay, because I had a question about I don't know, was that in the same episode when he went door to door? Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, when he did that, I thought he killed everybody that was there, but then they were still at the big ass party. So it does make sense if they were at a Comic-Con. Yeah. So they were at a convention, and that's where they were trying to sell the comic book. So they were like in a hotel room trying to sell the comic book, which I didn't understand what they were trying to do. Were they trying to sell it just for the person to own it, or like just for money? That like because they knew somebody would pay that money.
Well, it was supposed to be. It seemed like it was like, I thought it was going to be like a comic book that was like very old. Was it very old? But I thought it was like, because it made it seem like it was like the brand new only comic book. And that's what it made it seem like to me. That's what I thought it was too. I thought it was like the grandpa had it for years, and they just had on it. Yeah. This shit, he just got it like maybe a couple months ago. Yeah. So like how long before? Because it had a following, like the people, the main characters from the show. They were like big fans of it. Yeah, it was like Dystopia was the first comic book. First book is and then Utopia came out. Yeah, and that's when he's all like, and then I Googled to make sure there wasn't a Dystopia movie. But I guess there was nothing before that. I was like, maybe they had a movie before this one, and then this one picked up, but no. Oh yeah. So it's like so they just had a following of the comic book. Yeah, yeah. So they so at the convention, the girl and the guy who found the comic book, they are selling it. So people are coming to the room and bidding on it and everything. So they have a plan to bid. Everybody bid the same, and the one girl's gonna swoop in and like. I didn't understand their plan. I didn't understand that at all either. I didn't understand their plan. I didn't understand it, but a guy ends up buying it for like 20 G's. Yeah. So they sell it to him. Yeah, I thought he was gonna play. I thought he was going to play an important role in it. Like I thought it seemed like he was going to be the one with Mr. like connections with who Mr. Rapid was going to be, or who, you know what I mean? Like I thought he was going to be more important. And Josh, even with you saying that, it was like he didn't express any interest really. It was like, why did he buy it? Yeah. I mean, did he buy it just to impress some girl that he brought home? That one girl that was cosplaying? I really don't know. That's the only thing. There was no details in it. He just like went in there. He looked at it. He wasn't even really impressed like everybody else. No. I want to buy it right now, and he just threw the money on the table. It was like, what the fuck was that? Like I didn't get that. Yeah. So like, what was his plan? Like as a whole, what was he planning on doing? Was it just so he could be like, oh, I'm the man who got this, Yeah,
comic that's not, anywhere else, one of a kind
Right,
comic.
but then the Comic Cons, like I said, the whole party wasn't there for that. So it's like, how does it? It would make sense if the whole party came just for that comic and he bought it. But it was like they were all there, so it was popular to some, but not to everybody. So it's like, how did he know to be like, let me buy this super serious comic book? Like, why did he even do it?
Yeah, because there was other booths and stuff like that going on at the convention, so it wasn't just for the dystopia and the utopia. It was for all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, but the main focus was like the people that were hella into dystopia and who Jessica Hyde is.
Yeah, well, the main focus for us because we're watching.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like it would make more sense if he was a diehard fan who just had money. Like, if they would have put it off like that, it would have made more sense. But he just came in there, looked at it, and bought it. It was like, there was no point.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he wasn't a diehard fan, I thought he was going to buy it just because somebody else wanted it for a little bit more money. Like, I thought he was going to work for,
like, a retail.
Like the two guys that came at the end, I thought he was going to have connections with them or whatever, or who they were working for. We'll get to that. But like,
from there on, I was quick from there on. Like, oh my god,
yes,
oh my god,
yeah. So they sell it. They sell the comic for 20 G's, and then RB and whatever the other guy's name was, they show up to the convention and they go to the room. And they're like asking, where's the comic? Who's all seen it?
Yeah.
And then they all get shots to be put out or to go to sleep, and they ended up all dying.
Wake up with a hangover. But
yeah.
RB,
I believed him.
I did too. Yeah,
I did not.
Well, okay,
RB is the coldest. Dude, he was so serious. It creeped me out because he didn't give a shit. But then he can fight too, so it's like he's crazy, and if he wants to kill you, he's gonna fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm.
That he was crazy as shit. I was like,
you're talking about the taller dude, right?
RB.
Oh, RB. I thought you were talking about the other
RB.
No, the other guy, you can tell he's not as crazy as RB.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. The other guy seemed like he had some type of social skills. But RB,
but it seemed like he was working for RB because RB was real serious. Like, I wanted to be there on time.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like RB had like Asperger's or something, or some kind of autism.
Right.
But you find out later that he's a sociopath, a psychopath, like all of that. So he has no like emotion.
I thought he was like an ultimate fan. I thought he was an ultimate fan of the comic.
Yeah. But I give it to him. He's hella professional with his stuff.
He's
with
serious.
He did it. Yeah. He's focused.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I came here to do this, and this is what's going to get done.
Like, he's my favorite person from this whole thing, from the whole series.
I was going to say, I didn't have a connection. I didn't like any of the characters at all, with the exception of RB, which is twisted because he was fucked up. So.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like liking the Joker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like when they started doing the things, that's what pulled me in more to the show.
That's what caught me.
Where the hell is this going? Yeah, where's this?
Because I was like, I don't give a fuck about this comic book. And then when he went in there and they killed the whole room, and then he's just like running down the list and just taking people out, like no mercy.
Yeah.
Like,
no
mercy. Well,
no.
With the exception of that one, but I was gonna say, so when he gives all of them the shot, the last girl, the main girl whose grandfather's house it was, the way it was like he lingered on her, I thought he was going to pretend like he was about to shoot her, and it was going to turn out she was a part of it.
That's what I thought too.
I thought it was going to go that route.
I thought she was going to survive. Like, she's not going to die. Like, but she died.
Yeah, she hung on there for a minute at the end.
Yeah. Just to show you who Jessica Hyde is.
Yeah. So they kill that whole room. They get the list of everybody that's seen it, and they get the name of the person that bought it. So they go.
Okay, the one more thing about RB. He creeps me out because they're killing people, but he's just eating the snacks. Like, he's not bothered.
I know, yeah.
He's at the party at the table eating the fucking pretzels, and it was bothering me. Like, he just doesn't care. He does not care.
Didn't he? Is he the one that had asthma too? Like, he'll just be like,
yeah.
Yep. So they get to the penthouse, and the kid is there. So we find out that one of the friends is a kid because they've never met each other. So the kid finds his way to get into the penthouse so he can get the comic book. He gets it, and then those two guys show up, and then they knock the shit out of that one chick. They just knocked who knocked her out? The taller dude, right?
The big eye guy.
Yeah. He knocked her ass out.
Because she said something to him, and he just kind of looked at her, and then he walked up close to her, and then he just knocked her the fuck out.
She was like just all giggly and happy and making jokes like, yeah, and then he just looked at her and then just knocked her ass out. Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
And then so they end up killing the guy that bought the comic and the girl that was in the room, and they get the names of all the people that saw. But so they made a phone call. The big eye dude made a phone call to get mental health checks on the people that saw the comics, which I don't understand why they did that.
Because RB was like, he told him, he was like, call home. But we don't know what home is, but he told him to call home.
Yeah.
And then they see the boy run out the door though.
Yeah. So they chased after him. Yeah. But so they find out where everybody is, and then they go on a shooting spree.
Yeah.
But they made that one guy. Crazy. So they were going down the list, and they said that one of them had some kind of mental defect.
Yeah.
So they made him look the other way and then shot him in the head.
So they did that to make it seem like he killed everybody and then killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
they don't want.
Sense.
It seemed like they don't want any loose ends or anybody like.
It's like they, because they did all these murders. If you notice, every time they did a murder, it's like it had to make sense for the murder. So it was like, this guy's crazy, so he killed everybody that wanted the book and then killed himself. That's why they left the gun in there.
I was wondering why they focused only on him. So okay, so you cleared that up for me, because I did not understand that and why they needed to know who was mentally ill.
Right, because it's like if you read it, you'd be like, oh, he was crazy. So he would kill everybody and then kill himself.
Okay, that clears it up for me.
Because you know, every time they kill somebody, they had it like they set up a reason for it.
Yeah.
Like every time he kills somebody.
Yeah.
That's why he's scary.
Yeah.
He's a scary guy.
Also, it was fucked up what they did to that one person's family when they made him breathe in the.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Wait, is that we're not there yet? We're not there yet.
Well, no. I mean, we'll get there, but I'm saying like I'm agreeing with you saying like they make it seem like every time they do something,
But so it ends with Jessica Hyde showing up to the room where everybody was they overdosed.
Her overacting ass. Oh my God, she is the queen of overacting. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, she was I could not stand her at all. I don't even know.
Stand her face.
I was like, I don't want to think this way, but oh my God.
No, I told Katrina, I said, I don't like her face. It's like her face bothered me. And they would put the camera, whenever she talked, the camera would be right here. And she would be doing extra shit with her lips, like, we need to go, we need to. Like, stop doing that. Back the camera up.
Yeah. Okay, so it wasn't just me then.
No, I didn't like her.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't care.
But later on, I kind of just didn't care anymore. But for the first 3 episodes, I couldn't stand her. Everything was like over the top. Everything was over the top.
Yeah, even like we'll get to it, but even like the way episode 2 ends.
We're on episode 2 now.
We're on episode 2 now. So
so wait, should we talk about like the main characters, what they're doing? Like what they were, because they're like, I'm trying to figure out like, why is this comic book like it's popular, a lot of people like it, but then there's more to it. You know, why are these people trying to make sure whoever sees it gets killed? Like they don't want anybody seeing it.
Okay, so you know what? I kind of got not explanation. I got the feeling of how serious it was when what's the main girl's name? The first main girl. She was only the main girl for like 2 episodes.
Sam.
when Sam went to remember the guys were sitting there talking and they were like talking about the comic book and she started breaking down the shit in the pictures. That's when I was like, it's deeper than
So I actually wrote that part down. So she was saying that let me see, where is it? She was saying that the leaf on one of the pictures was shaped like Uganda. And then there was 2 branches, and there was a branch with 8 leaves and a branch with 1 leaf, signifying that, what was it? 1 in 8 people died in Uganda from a virus. So
I was watching that whole scene, like, what the fuck? It was like little shit she was pointing at. Like, you see this? This looks like the virus. Yep. I was like, what the fuck? And she was pointing out everything. I was like, the other guys I was sitting there, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, bro, yeah.
But so I guess in dystopia, there's like things about viruses and stuff. So they're wondering if Utopia is gonna have the cure. So they're like really serious fans of it that dig so deep and read between the lines and all that, but they messed up and got too deep into it, and the real life stuff came.
Yeah. So my understanding was dystopia, it was like all the fucked up shit happened, but then at the end everything was like settled, because they were talking about it as if the book was past tense, and then when they saw the Utopia, remember he was like, "There's another virus." It's like it was like the future for them. So it wasn't. I don't think it was necessarily a continuation from dystopia, but it was kind of like it was in the comic book form. But they're just like, "Oh, we got some new shit going on," because I guess there was hella viruses in the old book.
Yeah. So what they said was in dystopia, it predicted viruses that came after the fact. So it was like, okay, dystopia predicted it was right. So now there's Utopia, so they're gonna predict what's to come, and we got to figure it out so we can save the world. So
that's what the group of friends.
That's what their mission is.
They never met each other. They just kept in contact through was it messages or what was it like?
Some kind of online
group chat.
Okay,
so Grant is poor. Right?
He's in the system. Yeah, he's a foster kid.
So, but it's like he has a cell phone. Which I'm not saying that poor people can't get cell phones, but he was like poor, like no eating, no nothing. But he had a cell phone, and he was able to connect with these people through group chat.
He probably stole it.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little sneaky. He was a little sneaky child, like the way that he got into that room. I mean,
if he stole it seemed like this group knew each other for hella long.
Yeah.
So if somebody stole my phone, I'm cutting it off after 2 weeks. But it seemed like they knew each other. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of weird. That was kind of weird.
I don't know if his phone was used like with a phone number to like text and call, because they were messaging him on a messaging system.
Yeah.
So he could have just had the device and had a way to connect to make the messages. So that makes sense.
Okay. No. Now that you said that, it does make sense, because they jumped on the laptop to contact him.
Yeah.
Remember they were like, he responds to the app, so it's all Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That's why I was I was getting that. But I would say of all the characters, the one that I found most entertaining actually was Wilson. Who just gets
I love that guy. He's fucking hilarious. Like he's funny without trying to be funny.
He did background checks on them because they asked if they spend the night at his house.
So without being funny.
When they were hanging out, when they finally met and they were hanging out and they were drinking and stuff, and he was talking about their background checks and he was bringing up stuff that he found on each of them, and then he looked at Becky. He looked at her. So like, did he know that she had whatever the hell that virus is?
And this is where my prediction came in. I was like, I think Becky had something. I thought Becky was like undercover, because it was like she had that disease, that weird ass disease, and then she didn't have any family. Like it seemed like everybody had some background shit but her. Like she was just there. Which I thought was weird.
So maybe it's not that obvious what he knows. Maybe it's something else.
Maybe. Okay. Oh, well, we'll talk about it later. I don't want to jump to the end.
Okay, so let's get to episode 2. So on episode 2, Jessica she's able to get a picture of Grant because she gets to security and gets him to show her the video of the penthouse. So
the cheating husband.
The cheating, And then did you peep when he was talking to her and he had his back to the camera, you see Arby and Dude get on the elevator. You see them in the camera. And then Arby looks up at the camera.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was going to kill the security guard.
I said that. I said, as soon as he looked up, I said, oh, he's going to kill your ass.
Yeah.
He looked right at the camera like,
you.
We on our way.
Yeah.
I didn't pick
took
up on
too.
that.
Yeah.
I saw it. Because she was focused on the steel frame of the boy. And then the camera starts rolling, and dude's kind of looking like I'm the man eating the pretzels. And he gets in the elevator, and he looks up at the camera. I was like, oh, he's coming to kill your ass.
The man eating the pretzels.
You was fucking those pretzels up.
Because I remember Arby said something about destroying like camera footage and I forgot what something TV. I didn't think they were going to go to the security board and kill dude.
I mean,
he says it later.
Sense. That's what makes sense.
So
that's what that guy is so calculated. Like he is so calculated. It's scary.
Very.
Because he does not give a shit about anything.
No
Clearly.
shit. No.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
I can't wait till we get to that episode. Just keep going.
So twisted. But so she finds out who Grant is. I was calling them the gang. The gang is at Wilson's house. And he takes them to a bunker.
Yeah, in his bunker.
Yeah.
So this is the episode where you realize RB, like you thought he didn't give a shit. You realize he really doesn't give a shit. Like he gives zero shit.
Zero at all. Just heartless. So heartless.
Oh my God. Like he does not care.
Yeah. So they're in the bunker. They text. So the woman who was selling the comic book, her name was Olivia. So they text her to see if they could buy it. And Jessica has the phone. So she texted them and was like, okay, I'll buy it. Is Grant with you? And they were like, okay, yeah. So they tell Jessica where to go. So Jessica's en route, but Arby and Homeboy show up before her.
Right.
They leave to go get donuts and leave Wilson by himself. And then they show up. They show up.
Man, dude.
They're so cold.
Did you know what they were going to do with that stuff? So it was salt, bleach, and a spoon. You knew it was going to be the eyes?
Oh, no. I'm talking about before that, when they went through the house. When he's like,
they did that first.
Leak.
Yeah. So they did do that.
I was trying to figure out. Yeah, I was trying to figure out who house that was. And then they show the dad.
Yeah.
And, Wilson's dad. And I was like, oh, shit.
He was like, just breathe into this.
Yeah. It was, go ahead. I think I might say
okay. So you see Wilson's crazy, but it's like he gets it from his father because his father was the same conspiracy.
Yeah.
He was like, I knew you guys would come. He's like fighting, but he's happy at the same time.
Crazy. Yeah. He thought he was getting killed because of his work.
Yeah. The messed up part, it was messed up, but I couldn't help but laugh because it's fucked up the way they showed it, is when they're going upstairs. They forced the old lady to breathe into it. And all you hear is,
her body just
I was like, damn, what the fuck?
He said, hell yeah, just if you could just breathe into this, and then you just see the body. You just see the body go do.
They really tricked me because I was like, they're just putting them out. They're just knocking them out with the gas.
Yeah,
they're just giving them a shot to put them to sleep.
Yeah.
I was like, these people are.
I'll tell you, RB, I knew how crazy. I don't know. I didn't know how deep it was, but I knew how crazy he was from the hotel when he walked into the party. And the guy was like, we're just going to give you these shots to knock you out. I said, oh, they're crazy. I was like, he's a killer. Because he's just eating the pretzels. And he's like, he's going to put you to sleep. I'm like, no, you are dead. You're dead. I knew it from that point on. I just didn't know how crazy he was.
Yeah. So they, so they go to the house first and kill everybody that lives in Wilson's house. Then they get to the bunker and handcuff Wilson and bring out bleach, salt, and a spoon.
And they ask 3 questions. So calm. He sat down so calm, and he's just looking at him. Mm-hmm. And he asked him the same fucking 3 questions. And it was calm the whole time.
The entire time. But
like,
Wilson.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Wilson Wilson was saying before they left to go get donuts, he was telling them, he was like, if I was to be tortured, I'd be fine. If they handcuffed me, I would break my thumbs to get out. So when they handcuffed him, I'm waiting for him to get, break his thumbs and get out, but he had his fucking eye taken.
Yeah. No, I was just so like trying to figure out like what the hell is gonna go happen. Like I forgot he said something about his handcuffs until they showed him after.
I remembered that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Because he said I could hold my breath. He said I could hold my breath for hella long. What did he say? Something like that. He was talking about all the things he could do.
Yeah, I just remembered the thumbs and the handcuffs because I was like, dude, when are you gonna break your thumbs?
Oh man, that whole scene, like the ending of episode 1 where they're going around shooting people, I was like, damn. But this one took it to a whole nother level for me.
So I felt like, okay, they're gonna put salt in his eye, they're gonna bleach his eye. Then when he grabs the spoon, I'm like, somebody's gonna stop him. No. I was like,
if they're gonna show up.
Yeah.
He's just messing with them. Nope.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then so he kept saying, I don't know, I'm just a fanboy. So they do all of that. They take his eye out and they were like, I guess he's just a fanboy.
Yeah. I'm like,
because the other guy, the big guy, tall guy, he was like, I believed him. And then RB was like, yeah, I believe him too.
Yeah.
I guess he's just a fanboy. I was like, oh my God.
Oh man. Oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something.
Okay, so oh no.
No, go ahead, because I gotta remember what I was gonna say.
Okay, so then RB goes back up and he sees that little girl.
It was Wilson's sister.
Yes, I'm like, he's gonna just help her and leave. And then he just dropped her on the porch.
Yeah.
I was like, he does not give a shit.
Yeah, I would have thought about that earlier before they started doing all the stuff they were doing, and I was like, man, she's gone. Because RB, I didn't know.
No, I didn't assume she was gone. I thought when she wasn't in the house, because they killed the whole house. So I was like, okay, she's good. But then you see her walking up, and he walks up to her. I was like, nah, he's not gonna. Yes, he is.
Yeah. I thought he was just gonna like help her and like make us think he's gonna do it, and then doesn't do it, and then he did it. It was like, fuck.
But he just did it like
nobody.
He just did it with no. Yeah, no. That's what I said. Game of Thrones.
No,
nobody's safe. All right.
Nobody's safe.
He gets really sued. That's when he with the handcuffs. That's when he
broke his thumb.
Yeah, because RB left. RB went up. So then, the other dude's just like, kind of figuring out what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
So then Wilson gets free, gets the gun, and then Jessica shows up. And
it's all fucked up because he can't see. So he's like, he's free, but he's kind of like trying to figure out what's going on.
Because he's got no eye, but then Bleach got into the other one. So he's just like, he's just all fucked up.
Yeah.
So then, what do you call it? He finds out she's Jessica Hyde. Then they go get a car, and then we see the other 3 walking up, and then what did he say? He was like, Utopia is real. This is just he said Utopia is fucking real.
Yeah, he was in hell like shock. I'll drive.
Oh my God.
So now they're all with Jessica Hyde, and they go to a house. They break into a house to stay there.
Yeah.
But before all that happens, we meet Dr. Christie, who's John Cusack, who does the meat where they think the virus is coming from that's killing all the kids, because the meat that they produce is at the elementary schools.
It's so close to reality. It's like, because when he was doing that, I was thinking of all the vegan substitute like Beyond Beef or Beyond Meat. And he's promoting it like it's not real meat, but it tastes just like it. I was like, fuck. I was like, this shit is too close to reality.
Yeah. Especially because like they're talking about pandemics and viruses and vaccines and all this stuff.
Okay,
so quarantine.
That's why I said I didn't want to jump. Because at the end, when he gives that whole layout, I was like,
when he's duct taped.
Yes. When he gave that whole layout, I was just listening like, oh my God. Everything he said, I was like, but I don't want to jump to the end. So stay where we are.
Good. We still got like 6 more episodes. we still gotta finish the second one.
So we meet him. we see him with his family, and you could tell that the kids that are his kids are not his kids, like they're clearly adopted. But
Yeah,
we find out later, like what actually all the kids that are involved are. It's a whole other thing.
Right.
Did anybody see Shazam?
No.
Where he was in there?
No, like there's just like this foster care family that's adopted all types, like every type of like kid. Yeah, like that's gonna remind me of
I think I tried to watch it. I don't know if I might have got distracted, but I think I tried to because you recommended it, Josh, and I think I tried to start watching it, and I was into it, but I think I got distracted with something else, so I need to go back and finish.
Okay. Now that was just like a split thing. Like that just reminds me of Shazam because they had like, you know, they had in Shazam they had like, you know, the Mexican kid, the white girl, Asian kid, the black girl, like, and then seeing that he had family, like, didn't he have like he had one real son?
Was that his real son?
Yeah,
the older one.
Older guy. Yeah. He's like, that's my real son. And I adopted. He had 5 kids, adopted 4 other ones. Yeah. Okay. And they weren't just all white.
One of the running things that happens through the show is their purpose. So he always asks,
what did you do today to deserve to be in the world? Like
that? What have you done to earn your place in this crowded world?
Yeah.
So that's like the running theme throughout him and his the people that he has around him. So we meet him, and we also meet Dwight K. Schrute. What's his name? Dr. Michael Stearns.
Just his presence is funny to me.
Yeah. and his name is, and the fact that his name, and the fact that his name is Michael in this show. Every time everybody kept on saying Michael, I'm like, he's supposed to say that.
Michael Scott.
Dwight's supposed to say Michael.
This is the funny thing. Tasha told me he was in here right before we watched it. I didn't know that was him for hella long.
Really?
So when he's in there, like when he's down there, like writing the notes, and it was like reason why, and he was like for what did he say?
I can do science. I wrote that down because I thought that was hilarious.
I was dying, like that is hella sarcastic. He was like for science stuff. It's so stupid, like, but then I didn't notice it was him till he got home.
And you like really heard him talk?
No, they close up on his face, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "That's him." I didn't know it was him that whole time.
You know, it's funny. I mean, it's not that close, but his name is Michael Stearns. And remember, in The Office, Michael made this whole script, and the character's name was Michael Scarn. I kept thinking
that. Threat level midnight.
Michael Scarn was his character's name. So I was like, that's too close for me.
Yeah.
So we meet the 2 doctors, and then the gang is now with Jessica. She has them do makeovers. Change their appearance. Do makeovers.
I didn't get that either.
Yeah. Didn't seem like it mattered.
The fucking same. The only person that really changed was Sam.
I was like, that looks like a total different person. And all right, talk about somebody that does not give a shit. Jessica Hyde doesn't give a shit either.
Yeah.
But we don't know that until the end of this episode.
Was it?
Yeah.
We don't know shit to the end. Like,
I thought it was kind of messed up that the girl was dying and she took her ring. She took all this other stuff.
But it's like, when that happened, I thought she was just like a drug user that just showed up to a party and was just robbing everybody.
That's what I thought so too. Yeah.
Until she said who she was.
Right. Until she said, I'm Jessica Hyde.
Yeah. Because in episode 2, it just seems like she's just on a mission to get what she needs to get. She doesn't seem like she's psychotic and, a killer.
It just seems like she's fucking overacting. That's why I wish they would have got somebody I wish they would have got somebody that could play the role a little calmer. Everything she said was over the top. Her reaction to everything was over the top.
Yeah. I didn't really find her that believable or whatever.
Yeah, it was like you relax a little bit.
Yeah,
no, for real, chill.
So so the kid ends up he breaks into the property of this house, and we meet this little girl and her mom, who's clearly not her mom. But we find out, what'd you say?
I said that little girl is another terrible actress.
Hey, you don't like kids. You like kids.
Yeah. No. Okay, so I like good kid act like the kid. I thought he was a grown man. The Grant.
Mm-hmm.
I thought in real life he was grown because he was in Euphoria too. Remember, he was a drug dealer. He was the one in the store selling the
Is
drugs.
that him?
Yeah. So I'm
Oh,
telling Katrina,
shit.
I was like, I think he's a grown man. So I had to look it up. He's really a kid actor, but he's
Oh, I
fucking
didn't even
good.
realize that was him.
He's the same kid.
Oh shit. Okay.
I
So,
thought he was an adult. You know, like I thought he had like the Gary Coleman thing. Like he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good-looking adult.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But he's a legit child.
He's like a good fucking actor.
Yeah.
But that little
But see,
girl.
there's exceptions. There's good kid
Oh
actors,
no.
but
I'll say if they're good, but if they suck, they fucking suck. And this little girl sucks.
yeah.
Hey, it's only fair if they're gonna be an actor. You know, they gotta take.
They gotta get the criticism.
Yeah,
Take that
it's only gonna make
You're
them
not
better.
good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Or
she
maybe,
looked
or maybe
like
they
fucking,
they don't like acting anymore. Maybe they go do something else. It happens. So,
Lamar's about to be
like,
shady.
No, she looked like the little boy from the Sandlot. What's his name? Ham.
The Great Hambino.
Yeah. What was his name? What's his name?
Hamilton Porter. That's the guy's name in Sandlot.
Oh my god.
The Great Hambino.
Is it the freckles?
It's her whole face. It's her whole face.
But I think it's mostly just the freckles, the hair. She had like,
and she did have a round face. Her face was really rounded.
No, and then she has those sunken eyes. She looks like she could be his daughter.
Or sister.
We'll have to Google it and see if she is. But
he can act. She can't. But moving on. Those are my blackberries. That's where she came in.
See, I didn't even remember what she said. I just knew she positive.
Yeah.
So like I said, so she's you see her mom, and you could tell she's not her mom, and we find out it's because she's in the system. Because she says to Grant, like, I know you're in the system. That's how I met what was her name? Alice. That's how I found Alice.
And I have the same feeling about her, but they didn't say anything.
About the mom?
No, about the little girl being part of the system. Because so there's a lot of times I can't tell if she's a terrible actress or if she's doing these looks on purpose. Because she always has like this stale face for a minute, and then she'll do something.
So you're wondering if maybe she was part of the Christie, one of the kids in the Christie. I don't think what happens to the mom would have happened if she was.
I mean, why not?
Because Arby wouldn't have done it.
But Arby wouldn't have met Grant if she wasn't placed there.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think that. I didn't think that she was part of the whole.
It's either
what do they call that? The harvest.
It's either or. It's either or. Either she's a terrible actress, or she's part of because she always something will happen and they're always closing on her face and she always has like this stale look.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, every time she has a stale look and then she'll do something.
We're talking about the daughter, right?
The little white girl.
Ham.
My girl. Ham. I thought it was just like some people he just met across. I just thought they were just some random people he came to contact with.
What I'm saying is it seemed like throughout everything that was happening, everything was for a reason. Like stuff was placed there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The doctor is married to this lady. And it's like she was there for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything is pieced together.
I had my suspicions on the girl that he was with. The doctor, the girl that
I did it until later on.
I had my eyes on, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
The teenage girl or the teenage girl or the wife?
The wife.
He's talking about
the wife to Michael.
I didn't.
Yeah,
that didn't.
Okay. So I didn't want to be judgmental because I know where Josh is going with this. I didn't want to be judgmental on the relationship, but she kind of said it like, "Yeah, no, I'm just with you for your looks and your personality."
I was like, that was messed up because that's what I was like. I didn't want to think that way.
That's what I said. I didn't want to judge it. I didn't want to judge it.
It's like they were reading. It's like they read the audience's mind and be like, okay, we're gonna acknowledge what you think is what we're gonna say at the show.
Oh my god.
Okay,
but
so
that's later on.
So Grant is at the house. He ends up leaving. Do we see him leave the pages there, or do we just see him? We do see him.
No. We see him write a note.
Okay, but we don't see him leave the pages there.
No, he was gonna steal all of her stuff, and then he saw the note she left, and then he was like, "Shit!" So he put it all back, and then you see him start writing a note, and then they just jump to another scene.
And then he rips a part off, but that we find out later what he wrote. But yeah, so he was walking out the house with the stolen stuff and saw that the mom packed a lunch and put blackberries in it.
Yeah,
he was like, "Fuck,
no, the
can't
girl
steal
put
it
the
now."
blackberries in it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
The girl put because remember the girl kept saying these are my blackberries, so she put the blackberries in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what made him change his mind about stealing the stuff. So I think that they don't get a message to him just yet. The gang doesn't get a message to him just yet.
No.
But back at the house, so Jessica comes back, they have their makeovers, and she makes them sit down or something, and then Ian's freaking out. So she's like got her gun pointed on him, trying to get him to sit down, and then Sam steps in and is like, calming the situation down, getting Ian to calm down and sit down. And then Jessica fucking shoots her in the face.
Okay, so let me tell you the feeling of that scene. I was like, something's about to happen because it was too calm. Because she was like, okay, sit down. She was like, sit down. Okay, everything's calm. So it was like it was like there was too much silence. I was like, something's gonna happen, but I didn't think she was gonna turn and shoot her in the head.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she said,
oh shit.
The first episode and then this whole second episode made it seem like Sam was like the most important character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She probably would have been had she not been taken out.
She said there's only room for one leader here. I was like, God damn. That's what I was like, she don't give a shit.
Like, because she calmed him down, that's like leadership. So you had to take her out.
No, it was like she took control of the situation. He wouldn't listen to Jessica, but he listened to her. So she's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, it's like you want two alpha males. You wanted or whatever they call them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also it's kind of like they didn't tell Wilson. Wilson didn't know at this point. He still doesn't know his family died.
Which was crazy.
She said, don't tell him. She said,
don't tell him. Yeah.
Which was funny that she cared not to tell him because she doesn't care. But she didn't want him freaking out. So it's like, why do you care?
I think she only cares a little bit, like helping them out. Like it seems like if it gets in the way of her plans, she doesn't give a shit. If she can help you, she's like she
cares until you get in her way.
Yeah. Until you calm the situation down. Like,
and then I gotta take you out because
she wants to be the one to calm you down. But if you can't do that,
my job.
Don't be telling nobody to sit down. So that's how episode 2 went off.
That's how it went off.
Yeah.
So
and then we get to episode 3.
So episode 1, it was the massacre of going door to door and shoot people in the head. Then the second episode was Sam getting shot in the head, the eyeball being taken out. So when I texted you guys and asked if you watched it and you were like, episode 3 was hard to get through, I'm thinking in that sense, like, oh shit, it's worse than the eyeball taken out.
And that's why I said not in a good way.
Oh, when you said that, I was like, oh, okay, so maybe it was boring or slow or something like that.
Boring.
I thought something more extreme was going to happen. So I was like, fuck, I was preparing myself.
Yeah. It's funny you say like not in a good way, which is like, it needs to be fucked up to be in a good way.
You can interpret that. You can interpret it that way too. Yeah. Because I think when I said that, Josh was thinking about episode 4. Because I hadn't seen episode 4 yet. When I said hard to get through, I think you were talking about episode 4 was hard to get through. Or were you talking about episode 3?
I should tell you the truth. I need like
you were already on 5 when you said that.
Yeah. Shit, I'm trying to think because
we can talk about what happens and you can see.
Yeah. Once we start talking, it'll be like okay, because I'm kind of like a little mixed up, but but it starts off with them going to what's it called, the funeral.
Yeah,
the girl, right?
It starts off like she's peeing, standing up, and pointing a gun at them.
Oh, yeah.
But she says.
That's
God damn. I was like,
so episode 3 is full of all of her over exaggeration. This is why I was just like, I am sick of her.
Maybe that's why it was hard for you to get through it.
everything was pointing the gun at somebody. She would be like, "Calm down," and then you point the gun in their face. Go do this. Point the gun in their face. It was like, oh my god! And then they kept closing up on her mouth. They kept closing up on her mouth. I was like, it was just dragging, and she was
her
just
mouth
over the top.
was weird shaped. So it's like when she would talk or do stuff, it was kind of weird to look at. But yeah, so they go to the funeral of the girl from the comic selling the comics. They go to her funeral. They find out, they get her address. Like Becky is able to get this woman to convince her to give her Olivia's address.
After the threat, like, we're gonna go in here, and if you guys leave, I'm gonna kill Becky. It's like, how many times are you gonna threaten somebody?
she does a threat like that again later.
Yeah.
But so when they're in the car because she makes them cuff themselves in the car. And then you see these two guys jump out of somewhere
That was crazy.
into the parking lot.
That was crazy.
I thought they were clones of the guy from episode 1, the fiance.
I thought so too. I was like,
I thought it was the same guy.
Yeah.
They jumped out with them red heads. They're like, I just thought it was random because I was like, I thought they were just clones in general, not necessarily of him.
Or did what's his name? RJ, what's his name?
RB?
RB. Yeah, RB. I was like, did he send them to do it? Like, was there like
it was just random?
Yeah. Like, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what the purpose with them, how they knew where to find them.
Okay,
and why they weren't shooting.
And even going through the whole series, it's still random that they just popped up like that. It's like they didn't call it in and say, "Oh, they're here," or it was because Jessica Hyde was the big deal, right? So it was like, why did they just walk up and try to kill her? It was random. It was like they tried to rob them, right?
They had guns on them, but I don't know if they were trying to rob them or if they were trying to kill them.
Because they walked up and they were pointing the guns. Was there conversation?
No.
Not at all.
They
were just no.
Yeah. So I thought this show was going to be about cloning. So as things were happening, I was like, oh, these people are clones. And then come to find out that wasn't the case because I thought that was the guy from the first episode.
I did too.
They were just redheaded twins just randomly in the parking lot.
It was just random.
So now you just made it worse because now I'm like, that absolutely made no damn sense.
Nah. I forgot about, like, I remember that happened, but I didn't even pay attention if there was like, what was the connection on why they did that with everything else.
It was real random. It was real random. They just popped up. They literally popped up. What was it, out of some bushes, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just walked up on the car. One's in the front, one's in the back. It was like, what's going on? And then who kills them? Jessica kills them, right?
Jessica, yeah.
Yeah.
So she kills them. She doesn't do away with the body. She doesn't wipe the blood off the windshield. She just drives away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what was funny about that scene though? What was funny is Wilson got out of the cuffs. And then the dude was like, "You heard? She said she's gonna kill Becky." So he put the cuffs back on. He was about to leave. He had the cuffs, and he was about to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
that shit was funny to me. He was like, "Damn it!" And he put the cuffs back on.
Made him feel guilty.
Yeah, there's a lot of like subtle humor in there. Like some parts I don't like. I don't know if they meant to be funny, but it is funny. Like, you know,
that's what I said. Wilson, the stuff that made him funny was because he wasn't trying to be funny. It was like he would say some serious shit, but it'd be funny.
Yeah, because he was so over the top that you couldn't help but laugh at it. But
but he plays serious. Well. Yeah, no, I believed him. He was like, to me, like, there's like the best actor out of all the people. I think Wilson was really convincing.
I think RB is really convincing.
I was gonna say
that too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I was gonna say in that group.
Yeah, that's what. That group. Yeah.
Because everybody else was just like, But,
I didn't care for was it Ian and Becky? You know, that's the love story. That's the little love story for the, you know, romantic lovebirds out there.
I guess.
Becky, okay, so Becky, I couldn't get a grasp of her personality. I couldn't. So I'm like, is she the weird smart person or is she because her face is so emotionless.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Ian is the typical guy that just doesn't believe anything and he's leaving at any chance. And then Becky was just like, there. Grant is a great actor, I already told you. But Wilson is like the conspiracy guy. You really believe him. Like he's into his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's her name? The one that didn't make it past the second episode.
Sam.
I would have liked to see what because I like her in she's in Happy Death Day.
Yeah, I found
I
that
really
out.
like
Yeah.
her in those movies. Yeah. So when I saw, it, I was like, oh snap, okay, cool. Because I like,
Yeah.
I think she's a good actress. And
they made her seem like she was going to be
yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
Rob Starked her. I'm sorry.
That's
I don't think Tasha doesn't know what I'm talking about, but I think
I heard Stark. I was like, that must be Game of
Come on,
Thrones.
Iron Man, right? That's not. Oh no, you said Stark.
Rob.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, what? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. I was like, wait a minute, they're not gonna. Oh.
yeah. I'm all thinking like, okay, if anybody's gonna like, get killed, it's because probably gonna be like at least like maybe 5
anybody's gonna
later.
live. If anybody knows how to play the game, if anybody knows how to play the Game of Thrones, it's Robert Stark.
Yeah, really, yeah.
But back to the show though. That was crazy. Bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole thing with Grant and the Blackberries and the stealing the laptop, that actually happens this episode.
But that wasn't in part 2?
No, because in episode 2, we see him go to the house and he stays there. But then in this episode is where we see him attempt to steal the laptop, but then he leaves it and he leaves a note for the little girl.
I think I know what my text was. I think I forgot the ending of because it was so long. For some reason I thought maybe the episode 2 was 3, like part of 3. Like I thought the beginning of part 2 that was the crazy thing that happened in episode 2 and in 3 with that. Like they're like almost an hour long.
Yeah.
And then I would pause it to go do something, and then I come back. So I was watching them all the way through. So it wasn't like I watched one episode one day. It's like I'm watching this like it's a long ass movie.
Like a long ass movie.
So it's kind of hard to know like what episode it is because it kind of all runs into each other.
Yeah.
So they get the address and they go to the house and they're trying to find a copy of the comic book, and they find a picture of patients at an asylum, and Jessica sees her dad as one of the patients, and they were told that the asylum burnt down and there was no survivors. So she's upset because she's like, oh, my dad's dead or whatever. So they go back to the house.
That shit just dragged.
What's that?
I'm not gonna lie to you. When
This
they
the
were searching
episode?
the house, when they found the picture, when she's crying in the fucking cabinet, that whole shit was just dragging. I was like, come on. That's what made it hard to get through.
And then so Becky tells Ian that she's sick while they're at the house. When they get back to the house, that's when they message Grant. They get a message to Grant, and he responds with clues to where to meet up with him at.
Yeah.
So they do that, and Jessica and Ian go find Artemis because she decides my dad's not dead, but I need to find Artemis to help me find my dad. So Artemis was in the comics. She was like she rescued. She
kind of like taught everything Jessica Hyde knew, and they mentioned her in the second episode because Wilson's all, if you're really Jessica Hyde, where's Artemis? Artemis is always with you.
Yeah.
So
I remember that now.
Yeah, figure out like who the heck is Artemis, and then now we're about to find out when we're watching it. So yeah, I do agree, Lamar. It did kind of drag. I was kind of like, all right, where's this going?
God.
Yeah. This was like, I mean, every show has that episode that's kind of just like there.
This was that episode.
I
checked out. I ain't gonna lie. I told Katrina, I was like, I don't know if I can watch no more.
It was like, no, the first 2 episodes, they do some really messed up shit. Like they just like throw it into you, like, okay, we're in.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we got them. The next episode's gonna be like the slow pace.
Fuck,
that happens a lot of shows. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna call her. Huh?
They killed Artemis, right?
Yeah.
Pulled her fingernails
Jessica kills
off.
her. Yeah, she kills her. She finds out about her dad being dead, or because I think Artemis says your dad's dead or whatever. Mr. Rabbit killed him.
Yeah.
So then Jessica kills her, but I forget why.
I guess because Artemis says she wasn't like, it's basically like she gave up, like she was gonna tell him.
Okay, so
about that. I think it was something like that.
So she was like, because they were like, why'd you kill her? And she was like, because she was gonna die anyway, and she would have died worse.
Oh
But
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
still
the people
stupid.
that are after, I think the people that are after, what's it called?
Yeah.
Jessica Hyde, we're gonna be after Artemis too.
And it wouldn't have been humane.
Nah. But Artemis was like,
Yeah.
I'm done with everything, so I don't care anymore. Yeah.
But she was like, I taught you everything. She was like happy that she was killing her or some shit like that.
But what made her take her fingernails off?
Because she had a code under her fingernails.
So she was able to see it through the fingernails?
That I don't know. Because if you rip your fingernail off that deep, it's not going to grow back. So it was like, how does she have tattoos underneath her fingernails? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, but she took her fingernails off and there was numbers on it. So they wrote it down, took it with them. Becky finds Grant. So they connect with Grant and get him back to the house. And that scene was a little much too. With the cop and
the cop's like, "What are you doing out here? You're not supposed to be out here." Like, I was like, "What?" Like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, first of all, why does he keep looking at him? Yeah, why does he keep looking at the cop? Why does the cop keep looking at him? I didn't get that either.
Like, you're making it obvious, dude. You're not supposed to be out here.
I thought it was funny how Becky left Wilson to drive with that one eye.
With that one eye?
Yeah. I'm sorry. He's like, I only have one eye.
That one damn eye.
Yeah, for real.
And that shit kept looking through. That shit was nasty.
That eye patch. Yeah, he got that eye patch.
They kept giving him just like cloth, though. It wasn't even like a legit eye patch because the blood is just running down.
Yeah.
It's like he's not infected or anything. But so Dwight K. Schrute gets a sample of the flu. He tests it and says, "This is my flu." But we find out that I think we find out on here.
That's later.
Or maybe not.
That's all the way at the end. We find out at the end it's not.
Okay. Well, I think we find out. No, I think we find out sooner. Well, but I think it's the next episode.
Yeah, next episode, like he said, it kind of works. They want to test it, but he's all like, we need to run through it again. Like, there's some things we want to before we go through him in trials. So
Lamar's right. At the end, we find out for certain, but other stuff is said to make us think other things.
Because he believes all the way to the end that he cured the girl.
Yeah.
So he thought it was his the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's see what else happened. So they get Grant. What happens next? So we find out that Dr. Christie knows Arby because Arby shows up at Dr. Christie's house.
He shows up at the end. I was really awake for it, but I thought
I
was one of these like, oh, and I see them talking. I'm like,
well, because when he went there with the gun, I'm all like, oh, is he? I mean, they're not going to kill John Cusack right now.
Yeah.
So,
but they tried to make us think like
they try to make. I think this show did it. Well, you know what I mean? Like, Sam's like the big name of John Cusack, unless they were going to pull some like Scream shit where they kill off the person and everything.
Who else was famous at that time? Besides
yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. But we barely see him in it. Like, I'm trying to figure out while we're watching it, what's his role in this? Like, because they show him parts in other episodes. He's like in small parts.
Then about John Cusack or
John Cusack's character, like he's in small parts.
They make him seem like he's hella big. Like even from the beginning, when he drives on the 10-speed, they make him seem like he's like hella big.
Yeah, but it's like he has more screen time as the show goes on. You know what I mean? Yeah,
right.
Like once you find out him.
Glimpses.
Yeah. So I was all like, before you do that, you got to show me like what's his thing? Like, is he actually who he says he is, or is he bullshitting? So that I like that scene between him and Arby. When he goes in,
So we find out that they know each other. Yeah. And that's when I found out that he killed the security guard because he did that whole, what did you do? What was your purpose? Whatever that thing is that he asks everybody. So when he asked him that, Arby started running down all of the people he killed. So at the end, he was like 25 and one eye. I thought that was hilarious. So he counted the eye as part of his purpose.
That's right. Yeah.
But he was like, however many in the room, however many on the floor, when they went door to door, one security guard, the people at the house, and one eye. It's like
that shit is crazy. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how
he loves his raisins. That was his thing. Loves his raisins.
Those fucking raisins.
And what's his name? The doctor like had him on deck. So he like gave him raisins because you see him eating the raisins before. And then so raisins was like a thing. So I was like, what are in these raisins? But
right, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they got it because well, okay, so we'll go to the next episode.
Yeah, but they never say what the purpose of the raisins is. But so that's how episode 3 ended. So it wasn't anything too exciting. You just find out that RB has something to do with Dr. Christie and whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
So episode three, I really disliked, but episode 4 made up for episode 3 and brought me right back into it.